these brothers rock Jesus pieces, but they really don't know Jesus. Just know that he's the seed, and please believe it. We got the keys to the kingdom. We'll never be defeated. Evil legions, all of these demons. I know you see them scheming. Please believe it. We got the keys to the kingdom. We got the keys for these brothers rock Jesus pieces, but they really don't know Jesus. Just know that he's the seed, and please believe it. We got the keys to the kingdom. We'll never be defeated. Evil legions, all of these demons. I know you see them scheming. Please believe it. We got the keys to the kingdom. We got the keys to the keys to the.
So, what we're going over is that we are the children of Israel. We're not black, we're not Hispanic, we're not even, where you from, Tanzania? No, let me ask you a question about Africa. Who divided up Africa and told us, okay, this part is Nigeria, this part is Tanzania, this part is, who did that? White people, right?
That's right.
Let's hear what Deuteronomy 28:48. Let's find out what God calls those people who do things like that, right? Read this.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
That what?
Thine enemies.
What did the Bible call them? What did he call them? Read it again.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
What? Enemies, right, read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Now, it's the Lord that sent them against us. But why? Now we have to figure out why. Why did God send the so-called white man against us? Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
And in want of all things. So right now we're going over why God sent the so-called white man against us to destroy us. My brother right here, he's from Tanzania. So I asked him, who divided up, who chopped up Africa? You know who? The elites. What race are they? Well, right, you're right. But what race are they? They're one race. No, definitely European. The so-called white man.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
An astonishment. Now, as a people, we're in astonishment. If you go on any social media outlet and you turn it on, what do you see? Black women shaking their ass. Just all manners of evil, am I right? Right? The rappers doing what? Rapping about killing each other. That's an astonishing thing.
Right.
No other race of people is doing that at the level that we are. Why? Read.
An astonishment. A proverb.
A proverb. That's like a wise saying. If you want to hide anything from a black person, where do you put it? In a book. That's a proverb. Right? Read.
And a byword.
Now, a byword. A byword is any name that's on you that God didn't give you. So that's Tanzanian. That's, what would you call yourself? African American. But those aren't our God-given names.
Right.
You understand? God called us Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Naphtali, Simeon. Right here. These are the 12 tribes. These are our biblical God-given names.
That's right.
But because we disobeyed and broke God's laws, that's why the enemy that we read about earlier was able to come into Africa and change our names. That's right. We don't even know who we are. That's why you can turn on social media and you see all manners of filth. It's happening in Africa too. It's not just over here. Africa getting that work too. Because the reach of America is vast, it's powerful. That's all manners of evil, but it all goes back to us breaking the laws. So in order to come back, we got to start keeping the commandments, right? Is that it?
Among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
Among all nations, meaning wherever we are, we suffer the curses. We're over in China. What do they call us in China? They don't call us Israel. We're over in India. They call us what? The untouchables, the Dalits. We're in a lower state all over the world because we broke God's laws, right? So that's why the first step is learning who we are. So where you said you're African American, you be from the tribe of Judah, right? So let's get Hebrews 7:14. We're going to show you someone else who also comes from the tribe of Judah. Judah's the head tribe, right? Read.
Hebrews 7, verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
So it is obvious that our Lord is Christ. He sprang out of Judah. Meaning you come from the same tribe as Jesus Christ. And most likely you too. Because you come from Tanzania over in Africa. But we don't know these things. They destroyed us. But now, let's start getting some commandments. Let me, Numbers 15:38. So now, in order to, first, no, give me 1 John 5:3 first. So if I ask both of y'all, I already know the answer. Do you love God? Do you love God? Okay. Now we're going to get what loving God is according to the Bible. Do you believe in the Bible? Not the New Testament? Why? It's rewritten. Let me ask you. Do you believe in the Bible? Okay. So we're going to deal with that later. We're going to deal with the New Testament is rewritten, because it isn't. It was just translated. It wasn't rewritten, right? So get this first.
1 John 5, verse 3.
Bring it out!
For this is the love of God.
Now, for this is the love of God. Because both of y'all said y'all love God, right? So now the Bible's going to teach us what loving God actually is. Read.
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. So how do we show that we love God? Following the commandments. How do we show that we love God? Following the commandments. Now, where do you find the commandments? In the Bible. Right. So you gotta read. You gotta read the Bible and also keep the commandments. Give me Sirach 32:24. Cause it's one thing, you can say you believe all day. You can say, that's all we've been hearing out here today. I don't know if you heard earlier, people with the flags, with the fake Jesus on it. I almost said, we believe. That all sounds good, but what does believe actually mean? It's an action word. If I believe I'm a doctor, but I never went to medical school, does that make me a doctor? No, that doesn't make any sense. I can't just say something, right? So this is the same thing with God. You can't just, I believe in God, but don't do anything he says. That doesn't add up. That makes no sense, right? So we're going to get what believe is. Read.
Bring it out. Sirach 32, verse 24.
Bring it out.
He that believeth.
He that believeth. If you say you believe, read.
In the Lord taketh heed to the commandment.
You have to take heed to the commandment. It all goes back to the commandments.
That's right.
The commandments is why we live like we live. We broke the commandments. That's why we live like we live. But to get back, we have to keep the commandments.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
But these are things we don't know. These are things we never learned in the Christian church. Why? Christianity was never meant to save us.
That's right.
Christianity was never meant to help us as a people.
Right.
There's a church in every hood, right? Why are they still killing each other?
Wake them up.
Why are they still selling each other drugs? Christianity is real heavy in Africa. Why can Africa never rise up past a certain point? Why is Africa's the most resource-rich continent on the earth, right?
Bring it up.
Why is anybody in Africa poor? Because of the white people.
That's right.
That's what it is. They take all the resources, but think about, why are they allowed to do it? Are they stronger than us? As a people? Are white people stronger than black people as a people?
Jesus.
No. Are they smarter than us? No. So how come they're over top of us? Because we broke the commandments.
That's
why. That's why. God, remember, we read in Deuteronomy, God sent the enemies against us. They're not, give me Deuteronomy 7:6. God sent them against us because we broke the commandments. So in order to get back on top where we belong, we have to keep the commandments.
That's right.
One of those commandments is the Sabbath, right? Give me this.
Deuteronomy 7, verse 6.
Bring it out.
For thou art an holy people.
So this is Moses speaking to Israel again. For thou, he's saying you are a holy people, meaning we're separate. We're not like everybody else. Read.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
The Lord thy God chose us. He chose us. He didn't choose everybody. He chose us. Read.
To be a special people unto himself.
He chose us to be special. Read.
Above.
Hold on.
Above.
Equal.
Above.
Beneath.
Above.
We're supposed to be above all people on the earth. So equality isn't real. Equality is a lie. Equality is a lie according to God. God doesn't deal in equality. We are supposed to be superior. We are superior.
That's
We're
right.
supposed to be above all people.
That's right.
But do we live like it today? Do we live like we're above? No. Why? We've been corrupt, right? We've been corrupt. We don't know who we are anymore. If we knew that we were Israel, if we knew that we were supposed to be above, we wouldn't shoot each other for Jordans.
Bring it up.
We wouldn't shoot each other for a North Face.
Right.
Africa wouldn't have all these coups every other week.
Right.
In the news, Africa's having a coup every week. Doesn't make any sense. Because we don't know who we are. We don't know we're actually supposed to be above as a nation, right? Read.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So, we're above the white man.
That's right.
We're above the Chinese man.
That's right.
We're above the Arab man.
Right.
We're above the East Indian man.
Right.
We are above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's right.
That's why, give me Psalms 147. That's why God chose us, right? Keep reading. What they say? Keep reading, keep reading.
Psalms 147, verse 19.
Bring it out.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
So, God showed his word to Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, right? That's us. Read.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So, he showed his statutes, meaning the commandments, and the judgments for breaking the commandments. He showed them to us. We read it in Deuteronomy. Remember the curses that will be put on us. Those are the judgments for breaking the commandments. Read.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
He hath not dealt so with any nation. He didn't show the Chinese man his statutes and his judgments. He didn't show the Arab man his statutes and his judgments. He showed it to us. That's why we go through what we go through.
That's right.
So,
My brother right here.
Yeah, he got the Jesus hat. He say Jesus is the spirit.
Jesus is the spirit. So how did they nail him to the cross? Where are you going? You just made a bold claim. Jesus is the spirit. Come on, man. All right, finish this.
He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments,
As for the punishments for breaking God's laws, right? Read.
they have not known them.
They have not known them, right? Who does? Let me ask y'all a question. Who does the most evil in the whole world? The European, the white man, right? He does the most evil, right? So the white man does the most evil on the planet, right? But give me Job 9:24. But he still gets to rule the world. Why? Because his statutes and his judgment weren't given to them. They were given to us.
Right.
That's why when we break the commandments, all evil, all this type of stuff happens to us. But when they do it, they still get to rule the world. God didn't choose them.
Right.
They're not special.
Right.
They don't mean anything to God.
Right.
We are God's children, his chosen, his favorite. Read this.
Job 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth, the whole world, that was your point, is given to the hand of the wicked. Who's the wicked?
Teach.
Who's the wicked? Say it. You can say it. Say it. The white man. There we go.
That's right.
My man's scared to say it now. You don't gotta be afraid to say it. Okay, right. Okay, all praise. The white man. So the white man is the wicked. That's who runs the world. That's who tells you you're black. That's who tells you Tanzania's money is worth less than $1, right? How do you know the conversion? How much is Tanzania's money worth compared to American? Wow. You have $2 American, you have a whole meal in Tanzania. That means Tanzania's money is worth nothing. And who gets to determine that though? The white people, exactly. Why? God gave them the earth because we broke the commandments.
Right.
The world was made for us. Give me second Ezra 6. The world was actually made for us and only us. But obviously we don't have the world in our control because look at all the evil that we're doing.
That's right.
Right? But even if we did have the world in our control as we are now, we would destroy it. Because we don't have God's commandments.
Right.
That's why the prophets are teaching the commandments today. Go ahead. Right.
Right now they're taking, like gold, silver.
From Tanzania.
Yeah.
They're taking gold, mineral, silver from Tanzania. And they're able to do that. Why? They run the world. But look, let's see who the world was actually made for. Read.
2 Ezra 6, verse 55.
Bring it out.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
God made the world, the whole world, for our sakes. Read.
As for the other people,
Name some of the other people. The white man. Who else? The Chinese. Who else? The Japanese, East Indian, Arab. As for the other people, all of them. Everybody outside of the 12 tribes. Read.
which also come of Adam.
Which also come of Adam, yes, because Adam was the first man. Everybody comes from Adam, right? Read.
Thou hast said,
God has said. So this isn't my word. This is God. Read.
that they are nothing.
They are nothing. God says the Asian man, the Chinese man is nothing. The Japanese man is nothing.
Right.
The East Indian man is nothing.
Right.
The white man is nothing.
That's right.
That's what God says, right?
The disease, the get the syphilis.
Syphilis, yes, they brought syphilis to Africa, yes.
No, here too.
Here too. Right. That's man-made, that's manufactured. Why? Because they're the wicked. They are the evil, right? They manufacture COVID, exactly. They do all manners of evil and they get away with it because we broke the commandments. It all stems back to us. They're doing what they're supposed to. They were created to be evil.
Right.
There's no right in them. They don't know how to do right. We do though. But we only know that when we come back to the commandments of God.
That's right.
Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. These are things we have to apply amongst each other. That's how we get back to our rightful place on top.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.